Ready to go. Shohei Ohtani up to the dish. Misses the zone, and he gets him to chase. Liberator, a tall lefty, 26 years old, a former first-round pick back in 2018. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and there's one away. Time to check out the Dodgers lineup. And, Chris, they're not lacking for players that can hit the ball over the fence.
And with that said, these hitters have to be patient at the plate because the opposing pitchers are not just going to feed them fastballs down the middle. They're going to have to get deeper into counts and sometimes take the walks. But when they get their pitches, they don't usually miss them, and that's what I'm expecting to see here in this one.
There's a swing and a miss. Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, anytime you can punch out the top two guys in a lineup to start an inning, got to be feeling pretty good out there on the mound, because when you think of just having a distraction, table setters on the base paths, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the number 3 hitter, any distraction can cause you to serve up a cookie, and instead of it being a solo shot, it's a 2 or 3 run homer.
That one finds the zone. That's strike 2. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. 2 down, nobody on. Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. Next offering is in the dirt. That's to third. Tosses to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. Now the Cardinals will see what they can do. There's no score. You're watching St. Louis Cardinals baseball on the show Midwest. Back here in St. Louis, and on the hill for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Chris, what should we keep an eye on here with him?
Anytime you have 5 pitches to work with on the mound, that repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things that I'm going to be looking for in this one. Does he have a feel for all of those pitches, or is he just able to get 1 or 2 over in the strike zone where he wants? Now, it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
Hit hard but foul off to the left. Oh, that got away from him. And he's going to reach on a hit by pitch to lead off the inning. Mason Wynn next up for the Cardinals. Third baseman playing on the edge of the grass, looking for the sac bunt. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a foul straight back. In the air to left center. Pajes under it. 1 away. One out man at first. Alec Burleson getting ready to hit. And he swings and misses at the initial offering.
You tie a guy up like that, you're feeling like you are in command.
Check swing, but he went too far, and it's 0-2. Quick move to first, and he dives back in safely. That one way inside. This one drilled right center field. That one heading for the fence and gone. A 2-run shot. The Cardinals score first. It's 2-0.
You can't ask for a better start than hitting a home run in your first at bat to give your team the lead. A good hitter gets pitch recognition early. He saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
One down. Now up for St. Louis, Ivan Herrera. That one at triple digits. And there's a foul ball. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. Up with it, fires to first. Got him. 2 gone after the strikeout.
Well, obviously that was nowhere near the strike zone by the time it got to the plate, and people at home watching are thinking, what's he swinging at? But I'll tell you, some of the break guys snap off these days is just devastating. It can be so tough to recognize where a pitch like that's going to end up.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
Bringing the cheese on that one.
That just misses, and that is ball 1.
That's a really good job of laying off the 0-2 high fastball. Is going to make that pitcher really have to respect this hitter, even though he's behind in the count.
1-2 here. Oh, look at the stop. Throw to first, and that's a nice play to end the inning. 2 runs for St. Louis on this blast. It's now a 2-0 ball game. This is Cardinals baseball on the show Midwest. Second inning set to go. And at the plate for the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman. Puts it away for the out.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
And it's fouled away. Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt. Gets to it, on to first, gets the out, 2 down after the strikeout. Off to a strong start, Singy, as he's punched out 3 of the first 5 he's faced.
Well, he's definitely minimizing contact. He can get the swing and miss when he needs it, but he'll also keep the defense fresh behind him, allowing some balls in play as well.
On a line, base hit. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Now here is Andy Pajes. Ripped to right, base hit. Muncy headed for third.
What's up, guys? Happy Friday.
What's up, Dan?
Lefty out of the stretch, runners at first and third. And that'll do it. A couple of hits in the inning, but they can't get him home. Now to the bottom of the second. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Leading off, Jordan Walker.
Just not able to catch up to that velocity.
And that's in for a strike. And it's 0-2.
Man, that pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
Swing and a ground ball out to short. Throw on to Freeman. That's 1 out, the bottom of the second.
Batting 7, left fielder, Nathan
And
Church.
up next for St. Louis, Nathan Church. Close, but call the ball. Ball 1.
Up.
Swing and a high fly ball out there towards left field. 2 up, 2 down. And here's the catcher, Pedro Pajes. Ripped to third. And that is the inning. Back here at Busch Stadium. And at the plate for the Dodgers, Alex Freeland. That one sizzling on its way through to the outfield. So now back to the top of the order. Back to the top of the Dodgers order. Shohei Ohtani, the next to hit. Next offering is down low. Freeland aboard here at first with nobody out.
And boy, that was the pitch. 3-1. You want to be really aggressive on the fastball.
Bounced up the middle. Win. He flips it to second in time. To first. Double play. Nicely done.
Very smooth on the feed to second right there. You got to love that glove toss, Boog. You know, sometimes people think these guys are being a little flashy, but it actually can make more sense to do that than try to make a full transfer. And you got to remember, these guys work on that play all the time, so it's in their back pocket whenever they need it.
Got him looking. He's notched 4 strikeouts now. Dodgers go down quietly. They trail it here 2-0. As we go to the last of the third. And stepping in for the Cardinals, Victor Scott.
The second.
Bunting for a hit. Bare hand has to hurry. But no chance. That's an infield single. Back to the leadoff spot in the St. Louis lineup. Now it's the second baseman, J.J. Weatherholt. Hit by a pitch leading off the ball game. Weatherholt thought that one missed, and here comes a challenge. So the call will stand. 1 challenge remaining for them now. Shortened a bunt and missed it. 0-2. Base knock center field. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out. Mason Wynn next up for the Cardinals. He's 0 for 1. Line shot into the gap should score at least 1. Scott coming home. 1 run across. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score 2 runs already.
Yes.
Picks himself up a couple of ribbies. Loud contact leads to the double. I mean, you could tell it had extra bases written all over it as it jumped off of his stick.
Yes, another homer. Yes, Alex.
On its way out of here.
Yes, we busted open.
Another homer. His second home run of the game, and they add a pair. It's 6-0.
They wasted no time in that at bat, swinging at the first pitch, and he punished.
Knocked Ohtani out. Yes.
New pitcher for the Dodgers, number 63.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleeding and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
This to third. Muncy sends it to first. 1 pitch and 1 out. Here's Nolan Gorman. 0 for 1 so far. He swings and fouls 1 off. 4 runs already in the frame here in the last half of the third. Nice grab. Throws from his knees. And very nicely done for the out.
Nice diving stop right there. It gets the out. Great reactions. Excellent job of finishing the play with a nice, easy throw.
2 outs, base is empty. Jordan Walker digs in now. Grounded out his first time up.
Barnes OBS.
What's up, Wyman?
The 0-1. That one fouled off. Two down, nobody on. Gets under it and pops it up. Freeman should have this one. That is the inning. 3 innings complete. It's the Cardinals 6 and the Dodgers nothing. You're watching St. Louis Cardinals baseball on the show Midwest. Back here at Busch Stadium, all set for the start of the inning. Will Smith steps to the plate for the Dodgers.
Hit a homer for me.
I'll try my best,
Wyman.
Wyman.
Support and having a lead is nice, but it can be challenging for some pitchers. I think keeping the mindset to attack instead of trying to be too fine and have too much finesse.
I just hit 2 homers already with Alex Brothers.
Man, that's one of those at bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it, but in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at bat.
This one in the air, center field. Scott moving under this one. 2 away now. Here's Teoscar Hernandez.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
That misses, and that's ball 1. 2 down, nobody on. Top half of inning number 4. That's ripped to right down.
I had a doubleheader today.
Yeah.
2-out opportunity for Max Muncy.
Did you win both of your games?
Here comes Max Muncy. Muncy at the plate now, and that's strike 1. The 0-1. Runner on the go. Pitch in for a strike. Safe at second, and he easily steals the bag.
You don't usually see teams try to claw back into games by being aggressive on the base.
Well, that's a strikeout, and that'll do it for the inning. 1 left for L.A. They still find themselves down 6-0. Bottom 4, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Nathan Church.
Nathan Church.
That one hammered center field. That's back there.
Yes.
And
yes. Wyman, now let's get you what you wanted. Yeah. I gave you one.
And they add to their lead. That's
I gave
their
you one.
3rd home run of the game.
They're having a lot of fun at the plate in this one. They've got the long ball working for them on autopilot.
Pedro Pajes will hit next. And first offering is fouled off. Pajes, 27 years old, and he was born in Venezuela. And that one hammered way back there. And that's going to bang against the wall. Throws to second. And that's a double.
With that fastball, even though it's high velocity, you've got to live on the outer edges. When it's right on a tee, right down the middle, professional hitters are not going to have a problem turning it around.
And here is Victor Scott. Now a drag bunt, third base side. Bare hands it. Tough play to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe. So the lineup flips over. Here's the second baseman, J.J. Weatherholt.
He was the big part of the field last time. Nice liner to center.
That's ripped into the outfield. And there's one down. Now up for St. Louis, Mason Wynn.
A chance for more damage right here. A couple of RBIs for him in his last AB.
Rolled over to third, Muncy. On to second, they get one. What a double play that was. Inning over. One for the Cardinals on the solo home run. We go to the top of the fifth, and at the plate for the Dodgers, Andy Pajes.
You know, these Dodgers just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Hit on the ground to short. To first, and the leadoff man set down in their half of the fifth.
Boog, we talk about how the ball is coming out of a pitcher's hand. The way it comes out of his hand as an infielder, wow, really impressive.
So up next, Hye-Sung Kim. He's 0 for 1. Grounded to Coleman.
You're checking on your phone.
Tosses across to first. And the first two set down to the top of the fifth.
I totally forgot.
He's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
I totally forgot.
2 down, bases empty. Alex Freeland steps to the plate for the Dodgers. A switch hitter batting right. They've got a potent lineup, and when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list.
Money got dropped off. That's what I totally forgot. Is that there? Okay. Come on.
The pitch timer expired before he started his windup, so that's a ball.
I think about 10 minutes.
2 down, nobody on. And there's a rocket into the outfield. So the 2-out knock extends the inning and sends them back to the top of the order.
Up next for the Dodgers,
Back to the top of the lineup. Here's Ohtani. And that is cut on and missed. And it's 0-1. Up the middle, base hit. That was smoked through the infield. So that's 2 straight 2-out hits.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Strike 2.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter.
I blame it on you, Maya. I ain't going no wrong. You came up there and started talking about your order.
Oh, here we are, third time through the order, and this is where we see the OPS jump up. Manager might have to go to the bullpen a little bit sooner than he anticipated.
The Dodgers with a chance to get back into it. And we're at the top of the fifth. Foul ball there. 2-2 now. Now one missed. Bounced up the middle. Weatherholt. Over to first. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across one. Home half of the fifth coming up. It's the Cardinals 7 and the Dodgers 1. You're watching St. Louis Cardinals baseball on the
White Sox. So boy hit another home run today.
And up next for St. Louis, Alec Burleson. He's got a couple homers already, so can he possibly do it again?
Come on, man. Of course he can. Those 2 he hit were legit, and he looks pretty locked in right now at the dish.
Tap foul at the plate.
You know, these Cards, digging into their numbers, have to be happy with the swings they're taking. They have 5 extra base hits on the stat sheet so far, and that tells me they're seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well.
3 home runs! He on fire! He on fire! He on fire! He on fire, Jack.
And he's gone yard again. That's his 3rd home run of the game. And they add on. Singy, the ball is jumping off his bat.
Yes, it is. Tons of loud contact. Man, it's been impressive. He's putting on quite the show at the dish here in this one, and he's just so locked in with this swing, and he's just not missing right now. 3-homer game, man, it's so special. And I tell you what, it's a lot of fun watching him pull it off as well.
And now it's Ivan Herrera. Lifted in the air, right center field. Pajes, long run, got it. Really had to move for that grab. One pitch and one out.
Up next for the Cardinals, third baseman.
Here's the third baseman, Nolan Gorman. Has grounded out a couple of times.
That's for the freezing.
Out to short, Kim. Sends it to first. That's out number 2. 2 outs, base is empty. Now it's the right fielder, Jordan Walker. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. And that keeps the inning going. Nathan Church next up for the Cardinals. He's already homered in this game.
Nathan Church.
A bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1.
Okay, swing now. He had his mind made up. As soon as that ball left the hand of the pitcher, he was going to swing at it.
Comes up empty.
Well, he's been aggressive right out of the box, and a smart pitcher is going to play off of that, especially when you get to 2 strikes.
Ground ball up the middle. What a stop. Nicely done for the out. 1 for the Cardinals on the solo home run. We're back with a look at key moments so far in this one. Freddie Freeman steps to the plate for the Dodgers. That one ripped, but foul. Right through there for a strike. Swing and a ground ball. Weatherholt tosses to first. And that's 1 out as they get the leadoff hitter in the 6th. Hernandez in the box again. Takes a strike. On the ground to third. Whips it to first. 2 quick outs to open the top of the 6th. 2 down, base is empty. Here's Muncy to hit.
Well, I think that pitch surprised all of us. Right down the middle, doesn't get a swing. Not very often you see a hitter lay off a cookie like that.
Knee high, that's in for a strike. Got him. Larry Fuller brings him up. Back now for the bottom of the 6th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Will Klein.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game. Now, this is just par for the course these days. Huge fastballs coming out of the bullpen.
Strike 2. And that one almost hit him.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Pitch misses there, and that's ball 2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Comes a 2-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. stays alive. Battling here as he fouls it away. 2-2 now. Sets him down on strikes. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. You can't be mad at yourself after an at-bat like that one. Victor Scott next up for the Cardinals. He's 2 for 2. And first offering is fouled off. Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt. Action in the pen down there. Edgardo Henriquez, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. Number 70 also getting ready. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Here's the 0-2. And a foul ball. He stays alive. Popped in the air, left field. Hernandez under this one, and there's 2 down.
Up next for the Cardinals, second baseman.
So the batting order turns over. J.J. Weatherholt next up for the Cardinals. Two down, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
Everything came together for him. Wasn't able to elevate that one, but he sure hit it hard enough to get through the infield. There's not a whole lot of time for the defenders to react and try to make a play when it's ripped like that.
So digging in, Mason Wynn. Klein checks over to first, and he's back. Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. Swing and a ball lifted left field. That is the inning. So no runs here on a base hit, no errors, and 1 left. 7th inning coming up. It's the Cardinals. It's a bit of a blowout now, which gives us a bit more freedom here in the booth.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Singy, were you superstitious as a player?
I'd say a little bit, Dan. I wouldn't want to admit it, but I think, you know, you have a good game the next day. You're maybe thinking a little bit when you're putting your spikes on. Which one did I put on first? What did I eat? You know, let me just bring that back into today.
So you weren't superstitious, you were a little stitious.
Yes, I was medium stitious.
This one in the air, center field. And there's one away. 1 out, man at first. Here comes the manager out of the Cardinals dugout, and he'll make a move to the pen. New pitcher for the Cardinals, Gordon Graceffo. The offense will need to be ready for the breaking stuff. He's got a great curveball. And that one a little below the knees. And that's ball 1. 1-1 is fouled off. Swing and a line drive. That's a base hit into center field. Around second, on his way to third. And they'll have runners at the corners after a 1-out single. Here's Shohei Ohtani.
We've got some superstitions up here in the booth, and you never can say, hey, this game's going really fast early in the ball game.
Yeah, that is one of the ways that we are. Now, this ball is well hit. This one's got a chance. Gone!
Well, he almost robbed the home run right there, and I tell you what, he'd love another crack at it. During batting practice, you always like to work on that, and so close, but that one was just out of his reach.
Here's a high chopper. Burleson takes it to the bag, 2 out.
That's a good recovery, though, after giving up the home run. Not allowing it to stay in the head, but going to work at the next hitter, and a tough one at that.
2 gone, bases empty, but 3 runs across here in the top half of inning number 7. Line drive, makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Big 3-run shot for the Dodgers. Back here in St. Louis, the spray chart shows us an impressive power display from this lineup. 4 homers so far.
The distance on these is what stands out to me, Boog. Every one of those home runs has gone at least 400 feet. The batter's box is a launching pad.
And it's through for a hit. And a good start to the inning.
Up next for the Cardinals,
Ivan Herrera getting ready to hit. 0 for 3 in this one. Oh, great stop. The feed for 1 and 2. What a play.
Oh, man, what a smooth double play.
For the Dodgers,
Edgardo Henriquez takes over on the mound. He's into the game with the bases empty. Gorman in the box as he fouls off the first pitch. He's got it, and that'll end the inning. Here's Freddie Freeman now.
now pitching for the
Welcome
Cardinals,
back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. JoJo Romero.
And we all know about his slider. It's just filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very high, and it just breaks a ton.
Hammered down the right side, but foul. And now the 0-1. Grounded to Gorman. And that's 1 away as the leadoff man is out in the 8th. And now Teoscar Hernandez.
Ball, hot.
There's the strike. 95 of that one. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, that's always the key to effective pitching, is getting ahead in the count. And as a pitcher, it really allows you to start expanding the zone. Hitters become defensive, and all of a sudden that plate starts to get really wide. And what happens is, because of the pressure, you end up committing to a pitch as a batter before you recognize what it is, and that's what leads to the strikeout.
2 down, nobody on. To the right side. Bounces into the outfield, base hit. Joey gets on base and keeps it going. Andy Pajes steps to the plate for the Dodgers. Line drive. And that gets down for a base hit. So that's 2 straight 2-out hits.
He made that look easy, keeping his bat in the zone on plane for a long time. That leads to a high contact rate and more barrels, Boog. Even when you don't get it great, it's still hit hard enough to dunk something in like that in front of the center fielder. Sold it really well with the arm speed. swung underneath it. So a changeup that stayed a little bit more on plane than what he was anticipating.
Oh, look at the stop. And they get the out. Dodgers strand a couple. They're unable. On to the bottom. The eighth, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Jordan Walker. That one ripped right center field. And it one hops the wall. And the bottom of the eighth starts with a double.
Really good swing right there. He got a pitch that he knew he could handle, allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
Bunt attempt, but that goes foul. Man at second.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience as a hitter watching that go by.
That one at triple digits. Now there's a bullet down the line. Can't get to it, and this should score the run. Here comes Walker, and he scores. The relay throw. He pulls into second as a run scores on the play.
Picks himself up an RBI. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Next to hit, Pedro Pajes. Freeman takes it himself. One gone to the bottom of the eighth. Victor Scott now at the plate. Maybe expecting a bunt here. Third baseman playing in on the edge of the grass. Bunting, and it's in the air. Into third now. So runners at the corners and one out.
It doesn't surprise anyone when he gets on base by dropping down a bunt. I mean, this is just the latest example of him using his speed to his advantage and showing off his skills with the bat. That was very nice.
Now it's going to be J.J. Weatherholt to second, but he beats the throw. Save.
With 2 on and 1 out, you're just hoping you can get a double play ball to get yourself out of the inning. But now you've really got some work to do. You need a big strikeout here.
Trying to bunt his way on. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe. Well, Singy, that was really nice looking. Able to get it down and in a good spot.
And he makes it look easy. Bat angle was perfect. Barrel stayed above the hands. Could almost walk to first.
Now, Mason Wynn. Swing and a miss. And that's strike one. Swing and a pop-up. Smith takes it in for the out. 2 down.
No, that's a frustrating at bat right there. Big opportunity.
Number 70 taking over on the mound.
Well, no margin for error in terms of throwing strikes with the bases loaded. Just has to execute one pitch at a time to try to get out of this.
Now up for St. Louis. Alec. Now this one's well hit. Way back there.
Oh my God! This man had 4 home runs at a grand slam. That's crazy. That's crazy.
His
4 home runs at a grand slam. That is crazy.
Tack on to their lead.
That is fucking crazy. You see this shit?
You know,
you saw it in real time.
Slams are hit every season in baseball, but they're still exciting every single
4
time.
home runs and a grand slam. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Wow, this is awesome. Crazy. I mean, a 4-homer game is just so rare. They're so special and just so tough to pull off as well. Everything has to line up for you, but of course, you got to make it happen too. And these are the types of performances that people just don't forget, and it's definitely going to live on in history.
In the air to left center. And that's the inning.
One game for your bid.
Grand slam brings home 4 for the Cards.
That's why you got to get up.
Back here in St. Louis, we go to the 9th. Alex Freeland steps to the plate for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Pitch misses there, and now it's even 1-1. Foul ball. Fights that one away. Still 1-2.
Ball two.
Goes down looking for the strikeout. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth. Back to the top of the order. Next is the Dodger DH, Shohei Ohtani. On the ground. Nice grab. Fires to first. It's there, and that's a great play. So they're down to their final out. So here's Kyle Tucker now.
That's crazy. Crazy.
2 down, nobody on. They're down to their final strike.
And we're going to finish off with field left. You saw the slide, so you can put it down the way.
Got him, and that's the ball game.
Offensive explosion today for these players. They gave up a few runs, but they had more than enough firepower to turn this one into a blowout.
13-4 is your final. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
Nine RBIs. That is fucking crazy. This man had 9 RBIs, 4 home runs, and a grand slam. That is crazy. Always do this. Dodgers 38 at bats, 4 runs, 12 hits, 4 RBIs, no runs, 9 Ks. Let's go with this. 3 years. 5 pitches. 5 pitches. I had 30 minutes. I can see this quality a little bit. I had 39 at best. 39, 13, 17. I'm looking for 39, 13, 17, 13, 0, and 2. We had, how many doubles did we have? How many doubles did we have? That's 2B means double. That means 2 bases. Look, it say betting. Penalty to the game. See, look down where it says totals and say betting. I had 4 doubles. That's doubles I had. 5 home runs. Can you count 5 home runs? Let's look at it. It's so I got 4 with him and 1 with Nathan Church. 2 out there. Oh, that is crazy. That's a hell of a game. What's the HBP stand for? Hit by pitch. He hit the ball. GIDP mean what? Ground is double play. I use 3 pitches. What the SO mean? What BB mean? What that mean? Walks. What ER stand for? Earn runs. That's what that means. A run to score with. That's it. Earn. And R means run. H means hits. IP means innings pitch. See, you got to pitch 5 in the 3rd innings and qualify for wins. Pitches. That's good. That's good. No problem. Give my job a spot. Always stepping up.